Well, honoring the lives of 7 people lost in a deadly crash in North Las Vegas, those memorials continued today. Kay Dimanche was at a memorial service where dozens attended to support the family.
There's a lot of praying, singing, and kind words here said tonight by several members of the North Las Vegas community as they mourn the 7 who lost their lives in that tragic crash. They also took some time to uplift the survivors and their families.
Precious Lord.
Dozens of people from the North Las Vegas community gathered to mourn the lives of the family of 7 that died in the crash at Cheyenne and Commerce last weekend.
Today, we're here to pray for this family, to put our arms around them, to keep them lifted, because what happened on Cheyenne could have happened to any one of us.
Police say the driver who hit the family was going more than 100 miles per hour when he slammed into their van. Erlinda Zacarias' 4 children and 3 other family members were killed in the crash. The driver and passenger in the other vehicle also died.
When you go to their home, and before you even go through the gate, you recognize the bicycle is still laying there. All the kids' toys are still like they were. This family can't put this away yet. This has been very, very sad for them. They're not ready for closure yet. They still can't believe this has happened to them.
The parents recently ended their GoFundMe account after people from all over the world donated $300,000.
Lead me on.
Tiffany May survived the crash but is still in the hospital healing. Her family thanked the community for their support.
I want to just extend my sincere condolences to all of those that actually lost a family members, child, grandchild, nieces, nephews, brother. The reality I face is it could have been my granddaughter.
They've also asked for forgiveness.
We also have to forgive. This was a tragic accident, but we can't hold hate and malice in our hearts.
A funeral for the 7 family members will be held on February 19th at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in North Las Vegas.
It sucks because now I got to go to the post office to get my mail. I got to wait in line probably over there. And I don't know if they nabbed the important stuff that I needed to get, which was at the beginning of the week, and now it's the end of the week.
A mailbox thief leaving neighbors frustrated. Residents in a Silverado Ranch neighborhood fed up with crooks busting open their community mailbox and taking off with their mail. Some tell Katie Munch now they're worried about their identities being stolen. It is the big story tonight.
Just a bunch of dirtbags. You know what I mean? It's like, look, guys, what gives you the entitlement to do that? We're all hurting.
James Van Norden is angry that his Silverado neighborhood mailbox was targeted by thieves 2 weeks ago.
And it's they just busted the whole panel open.
Van Orden says this is the second time in less than a year that a crook has cleaned out the same community mailbox, leaving 16 different households in limbo until the box can be repaired or replaced.
I should have had my card by now because that interferes with my ability to do business, because that's my business card. So it's like all my business expenses, everything goes on that, it goes IRS.
It will no longer be a quick walk to the mailbox for people who live in this neighborhood. Instead, it'll be a drive to the post office. And while that's just a mile away, it's inconvenient. But what's more worrisome for people who live in this neighborhood is waiting to find out whether their identity has been stolen. Fearful of being exposed further, Debbie, who also had her mail stolen, asked us not to show her face on air.
Well, I was a little concerned because I was expecting some tax forms and my pay stubs coming in. I don't want my identity to be stolen.
United States Postal Inspector Trevor Hudson says they're currently pursuing crews that are committing mail theft.
Currently, it's just people prying open boxes, things like that we're seeing that's been an increase that we go after. And then, it ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's blue collection boxes, so we'll go after those individuals and, that'll stop and then they'll move on to another area.
Hudson says mail theft is commonly linked to drug addiction. He says people will steal the mail and then sell it for drugs or money.
These mail thieves, they go out at night to steal your mail. So if you're checking your mail and getting your mail out every single day as soon as you get home from work and not leaving it there overnight, then it's generally not a problem, because when they go to break into that multi-box, if you've gotten your mail that day, there's nothing in there for them to take.
An important lesson Van Orden says he'll do in the future. But until then,
I'm just going to keep a close watch on my charges. Look at my account, see if they snagged anything. Because as long as I notify it within 24 hours, I don't get owed responsibility for that. It's just more headache.
Republican Senate candidate Adam Laxalt launching what his campaign calls the America First tour in Henderson today. Laxalt speaking out on border security while continuing his rhetoric on election fraud. Brett Forrest has the report.
Over 100 supporters turning up for Adam Laxalt's Southern Nevada campaign push. All this starting at the Pass Casino in Henderson. And his supporters giving their reasons for being there today.
I'd like to see the economy return to the way it was a couple of years ago.
Taxes are all going up. I know that he's going to secure the border.
The Laxalt campaign making border security a top issue.
We can't survive an open border.
With other speakers like former acting director of National Intelligence Rick Grinnell praising immigrants but criticizing the increase in illegal border crossings.
We love the people in this country. That's why we want a strong border.
And some common themes of the event. Former President Trump's endorsement of Laxalt and the continued allegations of 2020 voter fraud.
I want to get rid of universal mail-out balloting. I want to get rid of ballot harvesting, drop boxes. These are not safe methods of voting.
But today, former Vice President Mike Pence coming out in his strongest terms yet against Trump's claims of a rigged election.
President Trump is wrong. I had no right to overturn the election.
Claims that triggered the January 6th storming of the U.S. Capitol, which led to attacks on U.S. Capitol Police. And while Laxalt is positioning himself as a law enforcement candidate over Senator Catherine Cortez Masto,
where was she in 2020? Anybody remember her standing up for our law enforcement?
Critics saying Laxalt can't call himself a law enforcement supporter while still claiming there is widespread election fraud.
You can't, I think, reconcile those two thoughts, that I'm for law enforcement, but I'm also for the reason that some of them died.
Tomorrow, Laxalt opens his Southern Nevada campaign office in Summerlin. So what about Senator Catherine Cortez Masto? She doesn't have any official campaign events on the calendar just yet. Instead, her campaign telling me tonight her primary focus right now is working for Nevada families and prioritizing their needs.
Hi, everybody. I'm Reed Cowan from News 3 Las Vegas. We want to thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Remember, you can always see more of our videos by clicking on the video links. And also don't forget to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of our YouTube updates. Thanks for watching.